Welcome back to Hear Me Out. I'm Dee.
I'm E.
And today we're going to be kind of departing from our usual pop culture references and, shows that we like to do. And this is definitely not a Kardashian episode. Thank God.
We needed
But if you have been living under a rock recently, then let us give you some information about one of the big stories that happened this past weekend, which was that Drake, if you know that
Soldier Boy
reference.
Drake.
Drake dropped his latest album, For All the Dogs, and well, you would think that, girl, please, you would think that the commentary and the big story would just be about the music, about the album itself, but no, it's not. Why? Because Mr. Petty King himself just had to be extra petty this weekend. And let me just say, this is going to be a long episode because me and her, we finna go at it. Like,
baby, you don't know what I'm going to say yet.
You know what? You might shock me, but I doubt it. So let's get started. All right. Drake fires back at Joe Budden after For All the Dogs criticism. Drake basically told him, "You have failed at music." Or, the way that Arrow used to say, "You have failed the city." Let me know if you know that reference too. Okay, so according to Billboard, Drake is pushing back on Joe Budden's criticism of his new album, For All the Dogs. During a recent episode of the Joe Budden podcast, the retired rapper took aim at the 36-year-old Toronto MC's just released 8th album, saying Drizzy is, quote, rapping for the kids and needs to start writing music for an older audience. Okay, so to quote Joe Budden, he said, by the way, Joe Budden, not Joe Biden, guys. Let's just make sure we get that cleared up. Budden. Not our president. Okay. So to quote Joe Budden, he said, quote, he rapping for the children. Yo, dog, I had to look up how old this N-word was when I finished listening to the album. But it said, you are 36. Your birthday is in 20 days. I Googled that too. You're going to be 37 years old. Get the F away from some of these younger N-words and stop effing these 25-year-olds. End quote. The podcaster continued, I want to hear adult Drake rapping for adult people. He's rapping for the kids, the streams, the accolades. He ain't trying to rap for me. I accept that.
So, what did my boy say? What did Aubrey say? So, on Saturday, Drake fired back in comments on IG on a post of DJ Academics that featured a video clip from the Joe Budden podcast. At Joe Budden, you have failed at music. Was that dramatic? Drake began his lengthy message. You left it behind to do what you're doing in this clip because what you actually used to do don't pay the bills. For any artist watching this, just remember you're watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter give their opinion on how to achieve longevity. My boy continued because it's a rant. And he said, you switch careers because the things that pop into your brain had you broke, living check to check, CHEQUE, because he live in Canada.
So,
check to check. And the raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty Aniche jeans. Shout out to Aniche. I never had a pair. Shows in dusty Aniche jeans to screw up their face to Mood Music 29 and pretend that you are the GOAT. He also offered advice to artists saying that they should do what they feel is right regardless of what others think. And he says, please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact, the rapper star wrote. This guy is the poster child of frustration and surrendering. Like, that really hurts my feelings. You retired and we never hung up your jersey and we don't even know your number. We don't even remember your number. I know. That was just going on the internet like crazy. That line should have been in the album, by the way. So you retired and we never hung up your jersey and we don't even remember your number. We know you why you're doing this. You withdrew from rap not because you are accomplished and all. You just need it because it wasn't working for you.
Dang.
Drizzy continued. You know, my name is Drizzy too, guys. You know, Eldris Drizzy. Let you guys know. I never want anyone in the generations to think that the whole everybody's entitled to their opinion is a real thing. This is a man projecting his own self-hate and the fact I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If you need to put it in simpler terms, I own a 767. Why didn't I read this beforehand? He owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions.
That took me out.
Then Budden took notice of Drake's comments and responded, "You'll grow up sooner or later. Father Time is undefeated."
Undefeated.
A lot, guys. So, about the album, if you haven't heard it, I'm sure everybody has at this point. But if you haven't, after nearly 10 months of teasing and delays for all the dogs, started streaming on Friday, October 6th. The 23 songs. Yes, 23 songs.
Girl, I only listened to 2.
I know. Okay, the 23 songs both star-studded roster of guests featuring the best, J. Cole. I gotta say that first.
The best.
SZA, Chief Keef, Sexy Red, Snoop Dogg. Why haven't I heard the Snoop Dogg track?
He kind of. I heard he was just talking.
Sade, Teasel Shutdown, Bad Bunny, Yeet, 21 Savage, Lil Yachty, and Party Next Door. So whose side are we on? Tell me, D.
You go first, man, because I want to see if I'm going to be shocked. I want to see if I'm going to be surprised here.
No, you go first.
No. You already know me. Stop playing.
All right. Who do I agree with? I have to agree with Joe Budden. Let me start by saying I am the biggest Drake fan.
Hold on.
Starting from.
Did the hell freeze over? What is it raining cats and dogs right now?
It's more like let me give it a percentage. Like 65, 35. Right? Because, you know, I see it kind of both ways, and I was reading like a whole bunch of comments and like what people were saying. But I miss the old Drake. You know, you miss the old Kanye. I miss the old Drake.
Right.
In the podcast, he was saying, you know, how many one-liners have we basically repeated on the internet? None. I haven't seen any. Like, nobody's even talking about this album.
No, I think about the controversy.
Yeah. And his ratings are going up for his podcast. So he's like, oh, joke's on you, Drizzy.
I know.
But I just miss the old Drake sometimes. But I always feel like, and then, you know, this is a bigger discussion. I always feel like Drake disappoints me with albums.
Okay.
His features are freaking amazing. He shows up and shows out. Like, it could be somebody else's track and he demolishes it. That's what's catchy. That's what's trending. That's what, you know, the girls be using as their, you know,
the captions and everything.
Captions on Instagram and everything. I don't feel that way about this album. And this is like probably the second time I'm listening to it, because also with the albums, I feel like I have to listen to it a couple of times to be like, okay, it's kind of growing on me. I don't know if I feel like that about other albums. But with Drake, it's always like that.
Yeah.
There's always one or two songs that I like, maybe a few more, depending on the album.
Yeah.
But Drake, I don't know. And there's also, I have so many thoughts. And there's also fatigue, I think. Because he's just been having all these projects released in the last 3 or 4 years. Like he had the 21 Savage, I think it was called Her Loss, right?
I think so. The Joy album?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
But yeah, it was called Her Loss. Then he
Yeah.
had Honestly Never Mind. That's
Mhm.
all in 2022. He had Certified Lover Boy in 2021 and Scary Hours.
Yeah.
2021, 2020, Dark Lane demo tapes, like
Uh-huh.
2019, 2018. Like there's always one or two albums.
Right.
So in the last few years, like all like this Drake-ness, it's like I can't get like used to like a
Yeah.
song or really embrace an album when
Right.
another one's already popping up.
Yeah.
So do I like this new Drake? No, because I don't understand why he's wearing these colored clips and he's dressing like Lil Yachty. I don't even like Lil Yachty like that. I think he's just doing it to do it. I'm
Yeah.
glad he's taking a break.
Yeah.
At this point, it seems like this is more just to be like a hit maker, keep on with the billboards, the clubs, whatever, keeping
Yeah.
up with young kids. Not really making music for the original fan base, but I mean, we're like a dying population, let's say.
Yeah.
Really. Like we're not going to the clubs. We're not like promoting this kind of music and playing it
Right.
or whatever. So I can see why
Yeah.
he has to cater to the younger crowd.
Right.
But I'm still a little disappointed.
Whew. Wow, I am shocked.
See?
Dare I say shooketh. Whew.
You
Did not
should be.
expect that. Like, let me give you guys some background here. Like, E and I have flown out to see this man. Like, we've literally taken a trip to see him in concert. We waited in line to get tickets for him way back in what, 2011, 2010,
Yeah.
when he
Like
did like a Valentine's Day concert that he gave out roses. Like,
Mhm.
we've been out there. We've seen
How many concerts have we gone? Like I don't get tired of Drake concerts at all. Probably however many he's had, minus this last one.
Yeah,
Because we're
I
gonna pay
didn't
for
see the last couple. I haven't been to the last couple, but like we spent years going to see Drake, listening to Drake. Album drop, we listening at midnight. Next day we had captions, yes,
Mhm.
and it's like we'd get ready for a trip, captions from Drake. So he was our generation's like it person. He was like very much commercial, but also like there was some grit, there was some sentimentality to his stuff. Hello Marvin's Room, like that's still whew, I couldn't believe he put that song on. It's just crazy to me. But like there was this vibe that we had from back in the day with Drake that like we all loved and enjoyed. Now, I'm not taking away from none of his success. He has been super successful for a long time now. And I mean, I guess you could say he really hasn't fallen off. So I give him that. But going to, the whole situation with Joe Budden, like, I do agree, to an extent as well. I think for me it's more like 80-20. Because yeah, like he's not making music for us, right? Like I'm not at the clubs. I'm not out here, hanging out with 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds or whatever. And what I always considered about, this whole perspective, like, of course Joe Budden's gonna give you criticism. That's what he does. That's what these people do, these outlets do. You need that criticism. It's what gives you also limelight, right? Like the same way Joe Budden's getting ratings, you're getting clicks, you're getting streams or whatever. It may not be like fully because people wanted to hear you, but maybe people just want to see if they agree with you or with Joe Budden. So
Yeah.
it works both ways. But then also, like, you think about the fact that, like I said, he's been doing this for so long. To me, at this point, Drake just makes social media music. Like, he doesn't make music for people like us. He doesn't really care to make music for people like us, and that's fine. That's his choice. But as far as like what Joe Budden said, him like being with these young people and all that stuff, Drake taking such like strong offense to all of that, and people saying like, oh, but would you say that to like Jay-Z when he was hanging out with Drake and J. Cole and Kendrick back in the day? Like, was people saying that kind of stuff about Jay-Z or whatever? Like, no, of course not. But there was a difference to what Jay-Z was doing compared to like what, Drake is doing now. And to me, it's like, one of the things that came out, I think it might have been DJ Academics who also said that he spoke with Drake, and Drake explained that like the reason he responded was not because Joe Budden was criticizing his album, which he can accept criticism for his work all day, every day, but he felt Joe Budden was criticizing him as a person. And that's why he felt the need to respond. And it's like, but wait, you're an artist. Your artistry comes from your life experiences. So how are you going to like disconnect the two when they're intrinsically like, together? This is who we've always known Drake to be. Drake has always been somebody who like whatever he's going through, he's talking about it. Whatever's happening, he's talking about, he's rapping about it. So what's, like the difference to like basically sit there and say, oh, well, he's criticizing my life, nothing to do with my work or whatever. But no, that's not the case. I also like heard what Joe Budden has said prior to that. I think it was prior to that. He said that he's, been on record before saying that to him, Drake is the golden child. Drake is him. He literally said that. I heard it from his voice. Drake is him. So he complimented Drake. He gave him his flowers. He, ran down the accolades and all that. But then because he turns around and says this criticism that I think has merit, this man turns around and decides to like just read him for filth and tell him that like what he's a failure. Like just because the man decided to do something different. I mean, hey, who's to say really what's a failure? If he's successful right now, like whatever happened and it's working for him now. So I really didn't care for his like full-blown meltdown online, his response and everything. Obviously everybody's entitled to their opinion to say whatever. And I know in the comment he said, oh, everybody's entitled to opinion, it's not a real thing. Yeah, it is, bro. Yeah, it is. Like literally everybody has their own opinion and people give it every single day. But anywho, I just think that like he's another person that's out of touch. Like he said, he has a 767. And Joe Budden only flies for his classification of it. So
you make a point because I'm here looking at I know that Drake had a little beef with Charlemagne.
Right. Yeah, he did.
Like a few weeks ago. I forgot why. The reason why. Was it because of the SZA song?
The Slime You Out thing? Slime You Out with the Halle Berry picture?
No, yeah. It says in September, Charlemagne grilled the Canadian artist over the release of his newest single, Slime You Out, featuring SZA. Drake put out a song last Friday and nobody cared.
Oh, that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Drake clapped back at the radio host with multiple IG posts calling him an off-brand Morris Chestnut and sending social media into a frenzy. So, like you said, I don't know, Drake is being uber sensitive, coming from Heartbreak Drake, Marvin's Room Drake, Drake who, what was the albums? Thank Me Later.
Thank Me Later, Take Care, like... had a lot of those kind of songs with him, like basically crying his eyes out
over somebody, some girl, Nebby, I don't know, a whole bunch of other girls.
Malaya, whatever her name was.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with him, but there were some hits on this album. I gotta agree. I'm playing 2 on repeat, the same 2 that you are.
Same.
But why did Drake, backtracking, did you feel like he had beats, but the beats didn't match his raps? Like, I feel like it wasn't in sync to me. I hate when music is like that. Like, some of his tracks, like, resemble to me some of Travis Scott's. How Travis just jump, like, from one beat like one rhythm to another. I'm not saying this in the musical terminology or whatever, but it's like 3 songs in one song.
Yeah.
Some songs were like that. I don't think the transition, I know this is me being picky. I don't think the transition flowed well because it's just like all over the place for me. Like I like something that's like easily, it flows kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're listening to Gently. We're listening to what was the other one? First person shooter. First person shooter. Like, why did he kill first person shooter?
I mean, J. Cole did better though.
Elevate to a J. Cole level, and they both killed it. Like, why is he hanging out with Lil Yachty? Like when you brought up did they tell that to Jay-Z when he was hanging out with Drake? Yeah, but Jay-Z was hanging out with good lyricists, like, the Drakes of the world, Pop.
Kendrick, bro. Kendrick and J. Cole. That's so... Kendrick is a Pulitzer Prize winner. Like, and I have to, by obligation, mention the fact that J. Cole went platinum with no features back to back. Because let me just throw that out there for him.
J. Cole lover, I get it.
I love.
Hanging out with K-Dot, all of them. And now, if we do the same thing, Drake is hanging out with Lil Yachty. Like, it doesn't even... Like, how is this person really elevating me? It's just keeping me trendy, Yeah. So I go back again and say, why did first person shooter kill? I'm sure that's probably one of everybody's favorite track. I read it on Complex. Like there was like a whole bunch of people say what their favorite track was.
Towards number 1, I think. I don't know if it actually hit number 1, but it was like headed that way.
I personally love it. I could tell Drake what to do because I think I know him better than I know myself. And I know what hits, right?
Yeah.
He needs to do a joint album, not with no 21 Savage. I don't know. If y'all like 21 Savage, my bad. He ain't my cup of tea.
I love him.
21. I could deal with him, 1 or 2 songs, but he ain't no Future. Like,
oh my God.
To have a joint album, that was a good album. What was it? It was What a Time to Be Alive. That was a good album. Tell me, was it? Tell me, was it?
Yeah, all right. It was cool.
Drake needs to do a joint album with J. Cole.
I thought they were.
Huh?
I thought they were. I don't know. Maybe it was just rumors, but I thought they were at some point. And what happened?
A part 2 with Future because I love me a mumble rapper. I love Future.
I love the original mumble rapper.
That would be one of my favorite albums. He needs to do one with J. Cole. Yeah. And the other one was with Bad Bunny. And now I'm going to say why with Bad Bunny, right? Even though that Gently track, he was just trying to match baño with champaño. I'm like, champaño is not even a word.
He needs to stop with Spanish. No. No champagne papi. No.
But I would say with Bad Bunny, why? Because now you're tapping into the Latin community. So if you're trying to transcend in music to like expand your global reach, you got to do it with your brown brothers and sisters. Like the Hispanics love you, Drake. Like we wrote you. We adore you. I spend money on you. Like
my God.
Me. So Bad Bunny, obviously, is Bad Bunny. I don't know. Tell me some stats about him. He's like
he has been the most streamed global artist back to back for several years now. Like he literally was the biggest artist, like both in English and Spanish. Like he's definitely making numbers. I think Drake even mentioned that in one of his previous albums and one of his songs, like want to make Bad Bunny numbers or some shit like that. Like,
oh, and I even think wasn't there like a Kanye clip that's saying who's like taking over kind of thing, or who's the most streamed person or somebody we got to watch out for? And I think he mentioned Bad Bunny also.
I mean, yeah, like mind you, this year supposedly Bad Bunny was going to be taking a break from music. However, he headlined Coachella. Now he's got a new album coming out this Friday, so that didn't work out. And we'll see what kind of numbers he does this Friday because some people, some fans are still upset at him I don't know how that's gonna work for Benito.
But in that Gently track, right? I have to look up the lyrics so I can learn them. It's the whole thing. If y'all used to do that in middle school, go to like Rap Genius and stuff like that to learn the lyrics. Let me know in the comments. But I find it funny because I feel like he dissed the Caucasian a little bit. Let me look for the specific
considering who he's shacked up with and everything.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Well, while you look for that, I'd like to point out that one of the reasons I didn't care for the album as well, as far as like Drake's new album, why he had to try Rihanna. Rihanna's over there minding her business. Like, leave that girl alone.
That was a good what is it called? Fear of Heights?
Yeah, I think so.
That was a good track.
You need to go sit down somewhere.
I think he's just in love with her, and then
he is butthurt.
Yeah. He said, hold on. Well, I mean, I can't say all these things here, but because it's really explicit. And guys, if you speak Spanish, you know that when people say stuff in Spanish, it's like so severe compared to English. Like it's way more dramatic, way more intense, in my opinion. It's like
deep from the soul.
But he said, I can't read it because it's so explicit. But he said, the gringa say blah, 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 like me so good. Me dice la gringa, mami te pasaste. So he was, talking about the Puerto Ricans saying that they want some. Then the Cuban girls saying they want something else, which is basically the same thing, but it's just like linguistics kind of colloquial terms. And then what the gringa says, which is the Caucasian woman, is like, this is what she says. And then he says, mami te pasaste. Like, I felt like it was a little like dismissive to like, oh yeah, you girl, you white girl kind of thing. Because he's still into Latina women. That's my theory. I don't know why he's trying to gain popularity with the second least interesting to look at Kardashian, but it's either here or there.
Yeah.
Kendall, out of all of them, I don't even know.
I have 0 comments on him dating his coworker.
You said his coworker?
I mean, they had Gucci campaign. Maybe that's what this has all been about. So
that's an HR problem, girl.
Well, that's their problem, but he's dating his coworker. That's the only excuse I can go ahead and think of. I mean, but he said he don't care what people think. So, okay, Benito, you don't care when people ain't listening to you.
So just imagine Benito, in all his popularity with the GOAT, which it's even hard for me to say GOAT sometimes for Drake. Can you believe that coming from me? Nobody's gonna believe it when they hear this. Because I'm like, who stayed consistent? Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is so sick to me. Like, even Eminem commented the other day about his Funyuns line.
Yeah.
Who thinks of the stuff Lil Wayne thinks about? Seriously.
Well, apparently not even Lil Wayne, because he don't remember a lot of his raps.
It always kills me when I see the one that is like, oh, when you wear a latex so you don't get the latex. Latex. It always kills me every time I see it. I think he's kind of like the GOAT, in my opinion.
I don't think I could ever call Drake the GOAT. No.
It's kind of hard. I'm like, I think creatively, Lil Wayne is so much better and has had the longevity of a career. What is a GOAT? I think that's what it boils down to. Like, are we talking GOAT like lyricist? Are we talking GOAT like stats? Are we talking GOAT like entertainer? Like, what's a GOAT? What's a legend?
When we're talking about GOAT as far as basketball, that's defined as stats, championship rings, all that, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, in the rap game, it would be same thing, like accolades, stats and all that. And I can see how the longevity of Drake can kind of like make that, you know, kind of a thing for people. But for me, it's like, I think it's just really somebody who, like, you know, you anticipate, like, you listen to their whole stuff, you like their stuff, like, consistently. Like, I can listen to a J. Cole album all day, every day. Like, I have no problem going back to his old stuff. I have no problem listening to any of the recent stuff. I can't do that with Drake. Like, I literally probably have not heard a whole album of his since we have the list right here. Let me go all the way back. I think the last time that I heard a full Drake album was probably, if you're reading this, it's too late, in 2015. That was probably the last time. Like, What a Time, I probably heard a few songs. I definitely only heard a few songs from Views. Only a few from More Life. And I definitely did not listen to, like, any of the other ones for more than, like, one or two songs. And here I am with the new one, For All the Dogs, and I've only listened to two that I like. And that's
the whole album to determine that you like two of them.
Yeah,
or
because
go to J. Cole and Bad Bunny.
So Friday, was it Friday? Friday night, all I heard was just those two. Mm-hmm. But Saturday, my partner forced me, because I had no choice, we were in a car ride for a few hours, to listen to the whole Drake album. I won't lie, I fell asleep halfway through. Like, very much fell asleep. By the time I woke up, it had restarted. So I've heard pretty much almost all of it, because, you know, then he replayed all of it and everything. So, you know, there were several good tracks, but not anything that really stuck in my mind, like the way First Person Shooter did and Gently. That was it. And Gently really only stuck in my mind because Bad Bunny and the beat. Like, I love a good reggaeton beat.
Okay, so then what's your favorite Drake album, or top three?
Okay, so of course Best I Ever Had is always going to be on there, because that was how I felt for Drake in the first place. Like, what's that one? Was it So Far Gone? So Far Gone. Okay, so So Far Gone is always going to be on there. Nothing Was the Same, because that one we literally flew to go see him, so I love that one. And then honestly, I don't know. I probably would say Take Care, maybe. Like, no, maybe more like Thank Me Later. I don't know. I'm gonna just keep it at top two. And it was Nothing Was the Same as number one for me, because there's so many songs I loved. And then So Far Gone. You know, there was one, I can't remember the name of it, that wasn't like too long ago, where he did like Passion Fruit Jungle, the one with the J-Lo sample. I can't remember.
Wasn't it More Life?
Was it More Life?
I think so. Let's see.
There was that was probably one of the, like, I guess,
More Life.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
Huh?
That was a good album.
Yeah. So that album, More Life, yeah, I would say is definitely like one of the ones that I absolutely did listen to, like, all of it. So I guess if I gotta say, then 2017 was probably the last time that I listened to like a whole like Drake album, because like I'm trying to see if I can find the whole track listing. Oh, Free Smoke, loved it. Passion Fruit, loved it. There was I kind of really did like 4422, the sample one.
Yeah.
Sacrifices. KMT was like a pretty, you know, really good beat. Nothing's Into Something. Teenage Fever.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. That was the J-Lo sample, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
Fake Love, all of that. Like, but really, like, I loved like Passion Fruit and all those. So yeah, so I would say 2017 was probably the last time I really listened to like a whole Drake album where I could go back and listen to it. It's literally on like my playlist right now. Like, random songs from this album still come out. Since then, no, I haven't listened to like a full one. And I might just add these last two, Gently and First Person Shooter, to my playlist. I probably definitely will. But yeah. Anyway, what about you? What's your top three?
I'm just checking it out. Comeback season. Just making sure I don't like any song. So Far Gone. Who doesn't love that? Like, did it have the song "The Calm" in it? That's like one of my favorite songs.
I don't think that was on So Far Gone.
No, maybe Room for Improvement.
Was it?
But So Far Gone has Best I Ever Had. It has November 18, I think. It has the one with
So Far Gone, The Calm.
The Calm. That's like my favorite song.
Yeah.
And it's such a serious song. I'm like not trendy at all, but it was so heartfelt, guys. If you haven't heard it, just listen to it. That's like Drizzy to his core.
Yeah.
What else? I don't know what else it has. Like Dreams Money Can Buy, maybe.
From So Far Gone?
It had that Bun B one.
Oh, the Houston track. Was it? Which one?
Was it Lil Bit? A Little Bit.
Hold on, let me see. Okay, so it's A Night Off, Uptown. I love
A Night Off is like one of my favorite songs with Lloyd.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's A Night Off, Uptown, Little Bit, Bria's Interlude, Best I Ever Had, Sooner Than Later, Say What's Real, Congratulations, Lust for Life.
See, that's my favorite album.
Oh my gosh. I can't do it. Yeah. November 18th, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. That's one of my favorites from that one. This Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Brand New, Outro, The Calm. I do love The Calm. Let's Call It Off, Unstoppable, Ignorant-ish, and Successful.
I listen to that one every other day. on some Ignorant-ish. So Far Gone is definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
Nothing Was the Same is definitely one of my favorites. It has like Wu-Tang Forever. It has what's that other one? I think it's like track number 3.
It's okay. I'm pulling it up right now because we gotta know this stuff right here. Okay, so we got Hold On, We're Going Home, which I forever will love.
That song is just saying the same stuff for like 3 minutes straight.
And I love it, and I love the beat. 305 in my city because hello 305. From Time till I move. Hey, I moved and I'm still 305, bro. Till I die. From Time, Started from the Bottom, The Language, Own It, Furthest Thing, Tuscan Leather. Yeah.
What number is that? 7?
Furthest Thing? Oh, it doesn't tell me the track. Oh, okay. Yeah. Pound Cake, which I did like that one a lot too. Too Much. Oh, I love Too Much. All Me. Also love. This album, I'm telling you, is my number one.
It's such a great album.
Wu-Tang Forever. Worst Behavior, which I will randomly any day of the week. Worst. And then Connect.
That's a great album.
It was. Yeah. I loved it.
Of course, I love What a Time.
Of course you do.
With Future. Of course. I love what was one of my favorite songs on the album is Scholarships.
Oh, okay.
What's the other one? Man, it's literally my top most streamed song ever. Like, I'm so embarrassed.
Let's look at the track list here. We have 30 for 30 Freestyle, Jumpman, Big Rings. I love the Big Rings. Plastic Bag, Diamonds Dancing, Scholarships, Live from the Gutter.
That's my number one most listened to song according to Apple Music. Live from the Gutter. I love that song.
Change Locations, I'm the Plug, Jersey, and Digital Dash. I like Digital Dash. We should check and see what our most played song is on Apple Music.
No, I know for a fact because I was like, how is this one my most? Where do I check it?
I wish I knew. Let me see. I'm going to try to see if there's a way. Because I would definitely love to know that. Like, from my life. Like, let's see. Because, literally, as much as, I may not care for Drake now, he constantly pops up on my when I play all my songs because I have so many like of his songs on
Top
there.
25 most played for, and I'm gonna hide my name, of course. Let's see if you can see that. I don't know why it's blocked off, but hold on. Can you see that?
Barely.
Live from the gutter.
I can't see.
Huh?
I can't. I saw like it's kind of blurry, but I see nonstop.
No, there's like live from the gutter, big rings.
Oh yeah. I see it. I see it.
Nonstop, Chicago Freestyle, Redemption, Know Yourself. So this will tell me what's one of my favorite albums. So which one is the nonstop one?
What do you mean? Like what album?
I think this is it Scorpion?
No, I thought I'd seen it in a different one.
Well, the Chicago Freestyle is from the Dark Lane demo tapes.
Oh, okay.
Redemption is from Views. Fire and Desire from Views. That's such Elevate. What album is that?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to like see here if it'll show me what I want to see in my thing.
It's Scorpion.
It is Scorpion. Oh, okay.
So I know we're making this lengthy, guys. All right. So far gone. Nothing was the same. What a time, because Live from the Gutter is literally my favorite song. How is Live from the Gutter my favorite song? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't live in the gutter. I've never been in the gutter. I haven't had gutter-like activities, but
Gutter-like activities, bro. What?
I am a rapper at heart, guys.
I believe it.
And I think, some of you, some of More Life, some of Her Loss. I like the Knife Talk. There's like a Yeba's, what was it? Heartbreak. That's the one with Savage, I mean. But yeah, I guess my top 3 so far gone.
Yeah, I would definitely say those are like some really, man. They're just like for me. It's a lot of like the old stuff, the stuff that like I would literally listen to, and I can remember like certain times in my life. It's like that's what I would think of. That's what I would remember, and so it's kind of like it sucks, that I don't want to say he's fallen off, but for me, he technically has, right? Like for me personally, because I don't listen to it the way that I used to. But it's definitely like it's definitely crazy to think about just how things used to be and the songs we all used to love and listen to. So, tying it all back to this whole Joe Budden thing, everybody like is gonna feel however they're going to feel when it comes to Drake, and I think maybe he should take it as kind of like I'd say even like a compliment that people like are so deeply invested in the music that you put out that they want to hear something else from you, like because most people could have just been like, oh, another Drake album and then moved on. But like for Joe Budden or other people who feel the same way to say, hey, like we want to hear some like adult man stuff, some grown stuff, like I think that just goes to show you that people actually care to still hear from you. Because if people don't want to hear from you, they wouldn't be telling you this. So that's really my main takeaway from it, honestly.
Yeah. J. Cole album, the joint J. Cole album, and Bad Bunny.
Oh my gosh, that'd be insane.
Got me locked for life, even though I'm already locked for life. But I gotta give you, the criticism, whether it's good or bad. I gotta be truthful. So I missed the old Drake. Of course, I like some of the, tracks that you do have, but it's not. It's not the same. Nothing was the same. Okay?
Nothing was the same.
Nothing was. Aww. But guys, let us know what you think in the comments about the Joe Budden and Drake saga, fight, beef, whatever. Whose side are you on? Are you on Drizzy's side or Joe's side? Let us know in the comments. Also, let us know what your favorite Drake album is.
Yeah.
Favorite or top 3? Because we could go on for hours about this. You know, it was a good, little recap. I'm gonna go listen to Drake later on.
I will too.
But let us know what you think. Like, do you still even like Drake at this point? Or
Right.
Lil Yachty, I could
Right.
never spell yacht as a kid. I could barely spell it now as an adult.
I think it's YACHT.
Yeah, and add a Y. But it took me a while, okay? All right, guys. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share our video. We're funny. We got the facts. We got receipts. We got criticism. You like us, just follow us, okay? Share our video. We're trying to grow our community so your friends could be our friends and we could all be friends. We also have social media, which Steve will tell you about.
We're on TikTok and Instagram at Hear Me Out DNE. So make sure to follow us, to like, share, comment. We definitely enjoy interacting with you guys. It's always a lot of fun.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Go listen to some Drizzy.